Welcome. There is a game where the Red Planet faces war over its most precious resource, and the only way to survive is by turning into a human taser. This is the saga of a game named the Technomancer. Imagine a game where the story isn't driven by the hero or the prophecy, and it's all about water. Now add corporations that want to take all of it. Add people that aren't considered human and either become slaves or die under the sun. Add crime being so common that criminals just run entire districts by themselves. And then, high above everyone else trying to make a living on this planet we know as Mars, I find the Technomancers, with the gift to command electricity. Here we go. Time to change my face before all the cutscenes. Okay, right, the talents. These are well balanced, have a nice impact on the gameplay, and even unlock special dialogue during missions. Oh, and of course attributes, to provide different bonuses and allow the use of different equipment. It's nothing incredibly original, so moving on. Alright, today is the day I become a Technomancer. A friend comes to wish me luck before the final trial, and gives me bolts and screws. Kind of a weird way to introduce the crafting system. I meet my master outside and he advises me to practice before the trial. What he means by that is beating some soldiers senseless. A train ride later and we reach what is considered a sacred site for Technomancers, where scavengers are doing what they do, so we have to teach them manners. Stealth attacks are useless, combat feels a little awkward, giant insects try to get in the way, but regardless, here I am. Inside there's a big reveal that shakes the value of the Technomancer faction, and that is my trial. I need to play along with the secret. Now, because this is an action game, that can be the only thing we do here, and a giant whatever this is shows up to kick me around. Combat still feels awkward, but good thing I just need to fumble a little until I pass out for being useless. Saved by the better Taser man, it's off to the graduation ceremony, where I solemnly swear to keep the secret a secret. However, Technomancers aren't really a faction, more like a cult within the army, so I still become an officer and take command of 2 soldiers I can upgrade and bond with. My first assignment brings more stiff combat, takes a little adjusting. Still, there's the difficulty issue. Large group fights are harder than the actual boss fights. Anywho, defeating the soldier sets the first stone in a series of story-changing decisions. Not that I know it yet, so hey, mission complete. I can finally chase side missions and even do some shopping, because new gear is the best way to improve stats. After that, it's time to report back to the captain, get paid, and go to sleep, so I can wake up with a nice experience buff the next day. Then it's back to clearing side missions. The military have a couple I can do for the obvious cash rewards, but also to improve my reputation with them. There's also the underground arena, very challenging, and my personal favorite, really. Oh, and speaking of, there's even a detective case about an arena fighter that got killed, where using extreme force is the best tool available to solve the case. The thing is, most side quests will influence the game. Let these rebels go, they might help. Help a soldier with PTSD and the captain owes you a favor. Free hostages from the mob, one of them will become my ally. Speaking of allies, I keep making them without knowing. This lady is actually a key character. Right now, she's a damsel in distress, so I take her and the rest of the VIP group to safety. She's very grateful, wink wink, but a terrorist attack blew up the city's roof, exposing people to intense radiation from the sun. And this is my first contact with mutants. They're considered expendable, so they're the ones who have to fix the roof. Of course, they don't want to, so I have to convince them. But no point in celebrating all of this. Enter Victor and the ASC, the corporate spy army. Their need for secrets is about to change this whole game around. As I go report the outcome of my mission, the captain lets me know that my former master is going to the front lines, like, now. It's a little bit of a tearjerker moment, master proud of student and whatnot, but guess who shows up like a fly on this soup of sad? That's right, Victor. Guy is really obsessed with the secret. Must hurt his feelings being a spy and all. Anyway, rejecting his friendship puts me on the ASC watch list, and one of my soldiers tells me I got a tail. After a really strange plan that actually works, me and the boys corner the spy and check his notes to find out who set me up. Turns out it was Alan. Who's Alan? My own personal rival from the days of the Technomancer School of Electricity. We fight, a teacher breaks it up, it's a great high school reunion really. Of course, there's more than fighting Alan. For example, there's romance to be had with some of the allies. There's also some mystery, especially with characters I helped before, but know nothing about them. I'll even say comedy the way some situations— no, I'm joking, this one breaks into a fight too. there's a lot of fighting. Unless I can talk others out of fighting, that's a choice. But whenever fighting is the only way, it's good to go back to a workbench and upgrade stuff. Really helps with progression. Carrying on with my missions, I'm asked to destroy the tunnels that the terrorists used to reach our city to blow up our roof. Amelia knows the way and takes me there. As it is for the larger part of the game, the main mission is always bundled with a bunch of side objectives, like releasing these mutants, which increases my reputation with their faction. But there's another main mission on this one, to retrieve a Technomancer relic from the rival corporation's Taser guys. It takes a little fist diplomacy to get them to hand the relic over, and I actually find out they have no idea what the relic is. So after that, tunnel goes boom and I leave, to never return, which sucks if the side mission wasn't completed. The Great Master is happy to get the relic back, but while I was out, discovered I'm being betrayed. Doesn't take a lot of digging to find out it's one of my boys. Again, there's a choice to kill or let go, but turns out it doesn't matter. Victor and the ASC are using false accusations as an excuse to lock me up and torture me, so I follow my friend's advice and run. To make it worse, my other brother in arms is also ASC now, and he got a nice anti-taser armor. All this betrayal does taste sour, but I decide to spare his life too. Nisha, on the other hand, decides to kidnap Amelia, and in the middle of Amelia losing her temper, we end up getting wrecked. One of the lovely Martian fauna didn't look both ways before crossing, and now we're in trouble. The sun is about to come up, and I really don't want to stick around for that. The issue here is the absurd amount of things getting in the way, and the game only gives me 5 minutes to find Sanctuary, so when time goes up, I turn real crispy. Making a run for it, I reach Noctis, city of outcasts and merchants, and of course, I have to fight something right at the gates. Though, at this point, I get how combat works. It's awkward, but I get it. More familiar faces show up, and they too volunteer to follow me. So, besides building relationships or getting them better equipment, I can choose to take different support builds. Basically, it's a companion system like other games have done, including adding bonuses depending on the relationship level. Now, of course this city has a ruler and I should pay my respects, except Mars isn't a place for generosity, and what this man saw was an opportunity to get someone to ignite a war between my former corporation and their rivals. Yet, to prove he's indeed my ally, he does tell me that the ASC is hunting my fellow Technomancers and offers the secret path that merchants use to travel, so I can go and rescue them. There are patrols everywhere, so it's not easy getting into the chapel, but I do release my Techno Bros. Yeah, here comes Alan, who decided to go full moron and join the ASC. To cover our escape, the Great Master decides to stand his ground, which is useless against the sponge armor. That doesn't mean he doesn't have tricks up his sleeve and goes full Pikachu. I lead everyone back to Noctis, and since the Technomancers are left without a leader, I decide to step up. I am tested on real-life trivia, game lore quiz, combat skills, of course, but I do get selected as the new Taser Master. And that's just one of the many achievements on the second part of the game. I can give a man back both an arm and Technomancer. I can help keeping the city hidden from corporations and violent gangs. There's the rebellion rising against the ASC, not to mention the whole drama with the mutants needing to choose their leader. And some side missions are just made for fun. The Underground Arena is one of them. Helping a zoologist study mutations is basically monster hunting. And then there's choosing a companion to romance. Hey, I won't judge. All of it makes this world feel richer than with the prequel, even if some areas lack interaction. Other than combat. Right, the combat. It just feels like a toxic relationship you can't stop going back to. The animations feel good, the enemies work together, it seems to do what it's supposed to. But the timing necessary to coordinate between attacking and dodging feels random, and some enemies just ignore getting hit, no matter how much I use breaking attacks. Yet somehow, that stopped bothering me. Because despite everything, the Technomancer is a game worth playing. It isn't better than the games it took inspiration from, it doesn't really bring a lot of new things to the table, but the fact it draws comparison to better games means some parts of it were done right. Thank you for joining me on the saga of the Technomancer. Like the video if you too are a fan of Taser simulators. But really, what did shock you the most about this game? Get down to the comment section and tell me what you think. Maybe you don't like these mutants. Well, I did cover other games with mutants, go take a look. If you like this saga or others, or any other video on the channel, then please subscribe. I'll have new videos ready for you soon. Remember to zap by my social media pages, even just to say hi. Done with this one, but I'll be back in a flash.